Quick tip for you, how to repair a ripped valve stem. This stem has actually been ripped, very common, especially with metal valve stems, longer valve stems, very common thing. How do you repair it? I'm going to show you. First thing I did was actually clean the area. This is carburetor cleaner, which is essentially just acetone. Just degreases it, and then I've sanded and roughed up the rubber that's on here and the surface, and in doing so I actually ripped it. It is 90% ripped off, so this is a good test. Next thing I'm going to do is actually get a good patch, and if you've used tire patches, 2 patches, they are not all the same. There's one patch made in Germany, better than any other patches out there. It's these Rema. These Rema Tip Top patches. I'll put a link below where to get them. Are the best patches you'll ever use. They have some sort of orange plastic or rubber that actually vulcanizes and actually forms itself and works. The next step is I need to make a hole in my patch, and I'm going to use a leather hole punch, or I could use punches like this. Put a link below where to get both of them, where you just cut a hole out, but it needs to be way smaller because you want it to stretch. So it's right in the center of my patch. There's my hole. Now I'm going to use some vulcanizing fluid, some rubber cement. This one's actually made by Rema for automotive purposes, but it works for all rubber patches. I'll get some of this. I'm going to get this all up in there. My patch. And here's the tricky part. We've got to take off the backing, their little hole, and without touching it, we need to slide. And I just touched it. I think we're okay. And once it comes in contact with that, you're going to want to stick pretty quick. I don't know, it's hard to see. There we go. The idea is I want as much as possible up on the body of the valve stem and then down in. And now I'm going to take something. I have a stitcher, but we're going to use just a screwdriver. Not done yet. One of the nice things about the Rema patches is they self-bond to each other. So if you have a huge wound, you can actually layer them over themselves. So what I'm going to do is actually, got that first patch on, is I'm going to put a patch over the top. So same process. I could use the same round patch. I just have these rectangle, or these oval rectangle shaped ones, and I'll just use one of those. Just because I have them. Just to reinforce it. You know, they're pretty rigid, but they're not foolproof. I mean, they're not completely structurally sound. So we'll just take another one. Give ourselves a nice clean hole. Lube it up just a little bit. Slides over a little easier. There it goes. This one I'm trying to keep up on top of the valve stem just a little bit more. You guys get the idea. There we go. That should hold just fine. They do sell actually, and I know somebody's going to leave a comment below, they do sell actually, you just pull that out when they sell an entire new valve stem you can just stick on, but usually they're more expensive than the tube itself, where these patches are, you know, dirt cheap for each one. So put that in, and we'll put the tire back together and air it up. 30. There we go. Wiggle it around. No leaky. It works. Of course it does. Bacon? Oh, bacon?